Hi, my name is Danielle Hatherley and we're here in my studio in New York City. In our last video we created a classic blue sky. In this video I'm going to show you how to actually add your classic fluffy clouds that people love to paint into this sky. So we start off with the same colours that we used in the previous sky painting. Ultramarine blue. We can put a bit of manganese in there, but really as long as we have our three primary colours in the clouds we're fine. So I may just start for the moment down here into our warms with our yellow, red, blue, the three primaries. I'm going to take a little bit of this ultramarine, pour some white into it, and what we're shooting for is a grey white. We don't want a bright white to start with. So we're going to create a bit of a grey over here with yellow, red and blue. We want a neutral kind of grey. At the moment it's looking a little green, so therefore I put the opposite, red and a bit of blue. And we've got a neutral grey going there. So what I do with a large brush, this is a thing I find with my students that I'm always trying to reinforce. With clouds you must start first with a big brush and work down to your small brushes. So with my big brush I'm going to place a bit of cloud in here. Twist and turn. Twist and turn. You don't want the clouds to look like they come out of a cookie cutter, so you want to create a little bit of variety to that shape. And as you see, it's a sort of neutral warm grey that we're using. I might cool it up with a little bit more blue. And then I'm going to create a couple of other smaller clouds just for a bit of variety. Here we go, there's another one. I'm going to lighten it up slightly so I can see it a bit better. And then we're going to put another smaller one down here, and I'll tell you the reason for that in a minute. Okay, so there's our three clouds. Next we actually need to get lighter than that. So now we pull some more white into the mix to lighten it up. But again, you don't want to make your clouds too light too soon, because you want to give the illusion of layers of light and tone. So now, lightening up the clouds with a bit more white into that grey mix. Here we go. And now you can see, now people love the fluffy cloud. I know everyone loves the fluffy cloud, but the big mistake would be to get the little brush right now and be doing the tiny fluffs. For now you must still be doing your big chunky marks, and you can come down to doing your little marks as we get towards the end of the cloud. And you can see I've decided the light source is coming from the left. So when I put my fluffy marks, I'm putting more of this light on the left hand side, trying to keep the shape a little bit quirky and not looking like it's come out of a cookie cutter. And then I twist over here and soften it off on the edges a bit. Over on this smaller cloud here, same thing. More light on the left hand side. Okay, vary the shape up so it's just, you know, looks a little different. Maybe I'll make that a long cloud. And then over here I'm going to make this guy a little bit fatter cloud. So over we go, and a bit more light on it. Okay, then what I'm going to, well, I might throw a little guy off in the distance, a tiny little one there. Okay, so pop that in. Now we can get lighter. I'm going to add more white, pull some white from up here. Might even wash off my brush at the moment and switch down to a small brush, because a medium-sized brush I should say. And now I'm going to put a little bit more warmth into it for sunshine, and I'm getting lighter. Okay, you can see now again my light source is on the left, and now I can do these fluffy sections that sort of isolate where we have more light hitting the cloud. A little bit more light, oh, not too yellow though. Little bit more light on the left coming over. If it starts looking a bit too yellow, pull some more blue in from up here, and a little bit more white I should say, and then maybe a little bit of blue to knock it back. But we don't want these clouds to look cold, so we definitely do want to make sure that they have a bit of warmth to them, even though I may have a tiny bit too much warmth right now. And there's the light on the left, less of the light on the right hand side, pulling some light onto the other clouds. Wipe off your brush and potentially you can sort of soften off some edges. You don't want to have any edges. The big mistake I see with a lot of students painting clouds is that they'll have hard edges. Clouds have soft edges. You can have a highlight edge where potentially There's a bit of a sharper edge here where our light source is. We may go a little bit brighter there, a little bit brighter in these top edges, but for the most part you should be keeping some part of it muted. You'll see here this is muted in, it's softening in because it's connected to the sky. There's no separation truly between the sky and the clouds, so we have to have some part of it sort of merging into the sky itself. These little clouds down here are also important to remember that as clouds go off into the distance, they're generally lower in the sky, and they're also smaller because they're further away. So if we had these guys down here, they're further away, they're more muted, and they don't have quite as much bright light as these guys up here because we want them to disappear into the distance. So they're just very, very, very subtle light on those guys. Not as bright as the light on the clouds that's close to us. So just a little bit, just enough to give them a bit of dimension, just enough there, and that's just about it. We could go in and just put some last little high notes in there maybe. I'm trying to get some white out of here that isn't adulterated. Just some last little high notes with the little tweaks, and we're done. That would be about just it. And that's, relatively classic cloud. And thank you for watching.